T1,
Go.
you know where that comes from,
Oh,
man?
you're on.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Spinner Rock. I'm here with my boys, PD and Kyle. Say what's up, guys.
Ready to rock.
Yo.
Today, we're talking about the #1 movie in America right now, The Army of the Dead, given to us by who? Zack Snyder. I'm telling you right now, this has been one tour de force that we've seen, and it's a hell of a thing. The premise is, okay, zombie movie meets Ocean's 11. Can you have any more? Can it be any better than that? So
That's ultimately what the problem with the movie is.
So, as I was saying in my brief introduction and breakdown of the movie, the cast is being led by himself, Dave Bautista himself. That's right, he's taking the lead role and does a fantastic job. Of course, you have a whole cast of characters, even the man himself from Power, Omari Hardwick. You got Mr. Tanaka, aka Hiroyuki Sanada, and a whole cast of crew who's come up to support this movie. Let's not forget our leading lady, Ana de la Regura. That's Maria Cruz in the show. So it was a great
That's not
film.
the leading lady. That's his love interest. The leading lady is what's it, Ella?
Ella Purnell, his daughter. Nah. The leading lady is Anna.
No, she's not the lead.
Okay,
Definitely not the leading lady in the thing.
Then why is she in the center of the poster and his daughter's all the way to the left? Okay, so
that's
again,
the love
another
interest.
interruption, but we'll forgive that. It's all right, So once again, this movie just came out. Is just doing gangbuster business on Netflix. It's definitely a theatrical feat. It's definitely a treat to the eyes, where you have the zombies, the look, the style, the color, the hair. I'm saying, oh my goodness, Zack Snyder is back. On top of that, the soundtrack, classical Elvis soundtrack is there. What else can I say? So, hey, gentlemen, that was a brief introduction to the movie. What do you think of the whole premise of them going into they're going into Las Vegas to retrieve $200 million in zombie-infested city, and the fact that the government is going to bomb it in 96 hours? I'm going to pass it on to my boy, Cal. Cal, tell me what you think. Booyaka!
Well, I think I told Petey earlier that the movie was like whale excrement.
Okay, I guess thank you for your brief synopsis of that. Petey, I'm going to go over to you.
I was just getting started, letting that sink in, like a long piece of scat. That's pretty much where we were at. Okay, it was dumb to start. I was just looking at the premise. I was like, okay, how are we going to get started? It was just stupid. It was just stupid starting, where you had this dude over here locked up, and these guys decided they were going to run on foot. I'm like, why you run on foot? You got a viable vehicle right over there that's still working, and they just left the vehicle to go hoof it on foot. I was like, we're just starting dumb at this point. And then, of course, they're trying to take this thing out. They can't take it out. Bullets won't take it out. I'm like, no, wait a second. This, whatever this thing is, you can't take it out with bullets. Okay, you're lighting this thing up with what? At least what? A couple of magazines, and it's still standing. Then I was like, of course we won't see that later in the film, right? And of course we didn't. We didn't see any of that type of stuff, because we need at least one zombie to infect everybody else so we can get this whole thing going. And then by the time we start getting into the the opening credits, oh, you can tell it's a Zack Snyder film. The slow roll, his choice of music, the scene, even the shot sets, which I usually give him credit for, that he knows how to set up a shot. Even that has become so prosaic at the end of the day. And then we're going through this. Ocean's 11 was actually a good film. I'll even give it to him that his that other zombie movie he made was an entertaining film. This was not Ocean's 11 meets a zombie film. Okay, this was Zack Snyder, rhyming with hack and whack, saying, look, I got nothing else to do. Let me just come over here, make a movie, and see what the hell happens. And, maybe I'll get lucky enough to get some people in here. This, I mean, I'm not as angry. I thought I was very disappointed with Jupiter's Circle. And then I watched this and realized, no, I got to give Jupiter's Circle a little bit more credit for at least trying. This right over here was just, it wasn't even phoned in. Okay, this is like you're on the toilet trying to handle your business and write a novel at the same time. You can't do both. So what did you do? You produce scat one way and scat the other way. This is just bad.
You meant Jupiter's Legacy. So Cal, you are on mute. I haven't put you on mute yet, but PD, can you please unmute yourself if you want to engage in this
Oh,
diatribe
thank
that
you. I
that
would
Cal
like
is.
to add, I would like to not know what I'm gonna do. I feel like this is like a relay race. I'm just gonna grab the baton because Cal has put us way in the lead on this one. We're so far ahead. I can just glide for the rest of the way. But I'm going to use some of his time that he gave me to bring up my points about Hack Snyder. I will use what Cal just said. Um, ultimately, to be honest about it, the problem, this is like, look, let me go back to the poster, right? Let's go back to the poster that let's look
Look
at
very
this
closer.
poster. Look at this. Look at the talent that's involved, right?
Yeah.
The talent is great. The women are gorgeous. The ones that what's the name? The coyote is cool. The daughter's okay. Obviously,
Pilot is funny as hell. What about that?
huh?
Pilot is funny as hell.
Come on, Tig, she's always going to be that. She's going to be that sort of thing. Amari is great. And then we start
The
this
safe
out.
factor.
I'm saying from the look of these, we knowing these guys, and I've only seen Annadelle the girl that I'm not sure how to say her last name, but I've only seen her in Power, but I want to see more. And I'm liking her. She's bringing something just slightly different. She's just very solid in this thing. She's someone you can connect with immediately. You lock into these characters. Even Dieter was okay. And then
Yes.
and they made a connection in there later. But I'm saying when you start the film, it's this Watchmen slow-mo bad because Zach Hack was a DP also using some new camera and it looked all funky, it looked so fake. It didn't look real at all. It was just like, ugh. It's like this whole satire opening. So this is the problem that the movie ultimately has. It's just hopping genres. Now it's okay to have a drama, have comedy relief, have a sci-fi film that has a romance, but then you go from one way where the open is this whole satire thing about the whole driving, like it's some B sex movie or something like that, or it's like a B it's like a B, it's like a trauma film in the beginning, and then it turns into satire about how people get infected because it's trying to draw out our connection to being quarantined with what's going on here and this and that. So they're like going through all this stuff, setting up how Las Vegas turned into what we see it now. But then it's like whole nother movie after that opening sequence, and then we're caught in this dry desert thing, and they slowly build this heist to be like, oh, now we're going into a heist film. And it's like, it's just so bad. The whole plot with you keep get lost in these plots of these people that are trying to leave. Well, for some reason, these people in this town go into there. The scout brings them in there, and we don't know why they're there.
The coyote brings him in.
Sorry, yeah, Coyote. Why she's like, but she's like, she's like a scout. She knows her way around the thing. Now, when we actually assemble this team, right? They assemble a team, it's all wacky. Of course, everybody says yes. Only one person gives us the reality of, oh, yeah, I'm going to say no, right? So this dude says no, everybody else goes in. And the coyote is kind of telling you these things that they need to do. And he's like, all right, we can't go in there shooting. We can't do any of that. Oh, and we got the Terminator. If you watch the Sarah Chronicles, the guy who played the Terminator is in there. The Terminator of that storyline. He's
Yeah.
always
That was
good.
good.
He's always fun. Even with all that talent, it's still bad. So this is like, this is so when they finally go in, it's like 45 to an hour by the time we finally get into Las Vegas, right? We get in there, the coyotes telling them what they're supposed to do. They have this wacky thing where they trade off the person, the bad the Hispanic guy who he or Latinx, sorry, I said that, but it's like they throw him out there. He gets tossed away to the dance to the enchantress. There's so many weird, funky things in here. And then it's slowly, what happens in these movies, everybody gets taken out as it goes along. So it's like, so once you get to like the hour point, it does turn to being watchable, but when I at first watched, I just fell right asleep. Somewhere when they're in Vegas and they're in the building, there's a whole thing where the guy who's with the government is kind of setting up the other girl who got taken out too early. You know, I would have rather them kill some of the other people instead of her, but you know, she was good. The action scenes with her was good, but at some point after that, I just fell asleep. So like after they get to the safe and do all that stuff. So ultimately, I did finish it. You know, of course, the major plot is that they have to get this money out before they nuke Vegas to really get rid of the zombie problem. But of course, this is a zombie flick, so they always have to be one left over. So that's the basic premise. And ultimately, it was a hella dumb. And the hard part of any movie is just being plain old dumb, you know, rather than just be, you know, you got all this talent. Instead of you're trying to make something out of nothing. This is a zombie flick. It's just guns. If you want to do the premise of them getting the money out of Vegas and ultimately the government wants to do like aliens and create more, start it way deep in the movie where they're already on the heist part. Not spend our time setting it up and making these connections. That's what your intro is, to have them do all the action, and then they're knee deep in going into this thing.
Look,
The
the
whole
intro was to set it up, okay, and they did
it
set it
didn't
up.
set anything up. It set up that they're in Vegas.
It explained what
Have-
happened. It explained why so we know the whole thing with the you know, like you just said, there was a military truck container to contain this creature or whatever. He gets out. He heads to Vegas after he kills the soldiers that are protecting him. Yeah, you're right. You're 100%, and that's
but
sets
it's
it up.
also trying to be. It's also trying to be, sort of. They're trying to be poignant for the time that the government sort of created this thing that's like a virus.
Never said that. Never said that. Never said
Ooh,
that.
yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
What do you think they're trying to do? They're trying to be smarter than it is, being a dumb film. The government has this thing that, of course, the knucklehead army people, like the army people, are trained to be
Hey, we
on
are
mission,
pro army,
not
so
being like, "Hey, what do you think's in there?"
slandering the military.
That, huh?
Calling them the dumb army people. We are not slamming the military.
I'm
And
saying that they're supposed to be functional, where they work. The whole point of basic training is to get them to function like a unit, not to sit around there saying, "Hey,
it's a movie.
would you do B
Suspension of
Arthur
disbelief.
or Cynthia or Sophia? Who would you do
Look,
first?" Like
look,
that stupidity. I could add in the bad dialogue in there.
I can talk about World War Z, 28 Days Later. Um, you know,
No, that's the thing.
other
Listen,
stuff.
me and Cal like Z Nation. Z Nation looked like it was on a better budget than this movie.
Oh my
Z,
goodness.
yeah, Z Nation didn't take itself seriously. Z Nation would come out there and you just like, okay, you can roll with it. This, again, we're supposed to have that opening setup is literally it's a setup
Great.
for a different movie. It's a
Great.
setup for a different
Yes,
movie, and it
yes.
doesn't work because you got this invincible, invulnerable zombie at the end of the day. And I'm like, well, why can't this guy be taken down with some bullets? These guys are raining fire on this dude, and he's just kind of like, nah, you know, no, it's not gonna happen. I'm bulletproof. That who's it? The chick who's the coyote, one with the bandana?
Right.
Yes.
That was the best action sequence of the film. Her trying to get, you know, out of there, and you know, the way the staging on that, her fighting, you know, shot, stab in the head, fight a little bit more, shot, and then when you think she's gone, you come back. Oh no, she's still over there fighting it off. Okay, then the guy screws her over, and you think, okay, that's done. And next thing you know, she's crashing through the window, and she's still in the fight. And then the way for her to be taken out was just like, okay, now we're going to swarm her. I'm like, you're going to swarm her now? She's got more room to maneuver
Oh
now.
yeah.
She's
Yeah,
got
that's the
more
thing. She
room to
came out and
maneuver
they're
now
like,
than
no, we
she
gotta
did.
leave her. Yes, exactly. Yeah, sorry.
Now she's done. We're gonna get rid of her now. After she went over there and put in this good fight. That's the best. That's probably the best action sequence of
Yeah,
the movie.
yeah, that
You
was
know,
One
where
of the
you can
best.
actually really suspend the disbelief right there. And then wait a minute. You're like, after all of that, that's how she's gonna get taken out. When she's got all these other people around her who can rain fire on these things and try to give us some suppressing fire, you could just tell her, look, drop down, you know, just lay down, you know, crawl to us or something of that nature and try to get out. That was such a waste because right there, okay, right? I mean, if you're a fan of this dude's work and you're looking at that, you should be like holding your nose, like, no. You know, I defended you on a whole bunch of your other, but this is whale scat right over here. No, that's just terrible.
First of all, I'm not
That
sure
you
whale
did all of
actually
that. That's the
whales have scat
resolution.
in the beginning, any place.
Look at that scene. Look at they're over there. I mean, I already know they're gonna have the complication. They made what they did what they needed to do. They got the money. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's like, okay, we just need to get to the helicopter. Everything's good. We know somebody's gonna screw things up, right? We know somebody's got to do that. So we already expect that. That's your typical caper heist type film. There's always some sort of complication. What what I thought was just too much to bear is they go and they rescue her. They're on the helicopter. They're on the helicopter, and they know that they got, the place is going to be nuked. They got to get the hell out of there, and they're taking like a good 30 seconds to have a conversation. So then, when the zombie guy shows up, they're like, "Oh, now we got to get out of here." I was like, "You needed to get out of here 30 seconds ago." I'm like, I don't understand that. Those things over there are mind numbing. That's just dumb. It's like, look, if the whole idea is we got to have a showdown with the zombie wearing a cape, it makes no damn sense.
Well,
we got to have a showdown with that.
I gotta interject. I can't have like both of you guys just slamming it and not get me getting one
Dude, you slowed down the relay race. Cal took it, put us way ahead. You're out of here. Just go sit on the sidelines.
No. Look, those are some very entertaining scenes. Yes, I agree with you. I agree with but to say that it was a waste, there's so many characters, and we know this is just how many of these zombie films end, where many of the characters end up dying. So I have no problem with that. The very fact that she went down
with the same stupidity,
the fact that she went down fighting, I don't think that's a problem. I think Bautista do a good job as a lead in this stuff. I thought he did a very good job holding up the team together. They had a decent plan.
Holding up the thing while he was in a bad movie. That's a feat. That's a feat. In a bad movie, the acting, the performances that these people gave in this film, they gave their soul for this bad film.
Yeah, they actually turned in some decent performances. I'm pretty certain, actors aren't stupid. At some point, I'm pretty certain when they're filming, they're realizing, okay, we see where this is going, but I'm still going to put in the work, do a good job. And they did. This was not like you got a solid cast right over here. And you could have, I think some of these people were like, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind making a film with Zack Snyder. Let's, see what that's like. But this is the finished product.
This is the finished product.
It's going to Netflix.
This is the finished product that's generating a prequels in an animated show, an animated series.
Possibly. Animated what?
They say that there may be an animated series.
A prequel for what?
And a prequel to this, and a show for the prequels.
What's the prequel?
I guess explaining how things happen. I don't know. Probably they go to the military.
We saw how everything happened. We got an invincible zombie who gets killed later.
Whether it was a government experiment, as PD is hinting, or whether it was something from outer space.
The possibility experiment is to try to say how connected to our present reality. And this thing was created. It was a man-made thing that caused this quarantine. That this is the stupidity they're trying to give us. We're not supposed to get that, right? We're supposed to look past that they were trying to be some sort of highfalutin BS, trying to say about what's going on today. And it didn't work. You know what? It didn't work at all. And let's go even further, right? Because I'm going to do, Zack Snyder's doing my first movie plot. All right, I got zombies. But zombies, they are human. They are like human beings. They're like other creatures. He's treating them like aliens. So then, what's the name? The woman is pregnant, and it's like, all right, they're zombies. Even like, let's go. All of those stories about zombies, they play to this thing. You shoot the head, and they die. No, all right. This is what the George A. Romero zombies are. Where before they could walk around with no heads, they could do that because someone's controlling them and saying, go forth. That's what's happening. So anything come up, you could still see a hand moving with nothing going on. That was the hook. But they go and say, all right, now they're doing their own thing. There's some that they're alphas, and then there's the regular ones that go at slow pace. But then to have a zombie worried about the kid, and then taking the baby out and having this thing and the other zombies reacting to it, all that is my first plot, and get that out of here. You cannot personify they're zombies.
All right, so this is like there was this zombie movie I heard that they had, I forgot the name of it, where they had a character who who was a zombie. It was a comedy, and one day he realized his heart starts beating, and he becomes alive again. And there's a comment. It's a rom com.
That works as a comedy,
But
not in
listen to
real
what I'm
life,
saying.
not in a regular
I'm trying
drama.
to say they made different versions of the zombies. Now you have. So I wanted to bring this up with you as a question, how you guys feel. But clearly, I see how you feel. Where you have the shamblers, who are the regular zombies, who don't, they move slower, they go side to side, and then you have the alphas, basically the ones who the guy alpha, the one who built the other zombies, and they then can make people who become shamblers, but only he can make the intelligent, the ones who can communicate, the ones who can have. So we start from the premise that, hey, there was this guy. If he's an experiment or something like that, something happened, right? And somehow he's able to. He is not a shambler. He's not the regular standard zombie. And since he's a higher form zombie, you then figure that, hey, possibly he could be doing something. They're communicating. They're organized. They're able to do a lot of stuff. There's a lot of zombie shows where they have this actually happening. It's not the only one. This is not a brand new premise. An intelligent zombie. So I don't see why there's a problem
I
with
didn't
that.
say, I wasn't talking about the intelligent zombie. I'm talking about the goddamn baby and
Right, but I'm
taking the.
saying,
It worked in the first film because the baby was a stillborn, so then the baby could become a zombie. That nonsense. And of course, as a baby, it can't move around, so you have a baby that you can walk around with, but try to kill you and all that stuff. I'll give you some leeway on it, but the whole thing of that dude getting a zombie pregnant, and then next thing you know, like that's really asking a lot out of me and
right,
us, the audience,
and
and
don't
him
forget, in
crying
Resident
over the
Evil, they have
baby.
different levels of zombies too.
What?
In Resident Evil, they have the zombies who are intelligent. Also out in what I think is Las Vegas. Also,
Let's
You're
talk
saying this,
about the
you're saying
baby,
this
not
like an intelligent zombie is a good idea. The fact that other people have done it and they've minded doesn't mean that it's a good idea. The whole idea of the zombies was that these guys just overpower you with numbers, just sheer numbers at the end of the day. Not that these were thinking guys setting a trap for you or something of that nature. Okay, it's not Jurassic Park where you're up against smart, raptors. These guys are, look, they're shamblers, if you want to call them that, but they're everywhere. Okay, they never get tired. You're going to run out of ammo, you're going to run out of energy, and they're still going to keep coming. That's the basic threat of a zombie. The second a zombie is running around, jumping off walls, moving 25 miles an hour like it's Usain Bolt or something of that nature, well, they don't need to be a zombie anymore. That's a totally different type of villain. So the fact that people did it other places doesn't necessarily justify doing it here or them doing it. It's not necessarily a good idea. So that's one thing. Two, this movie is still scat, regardless of what other people did in the other films. It, the, 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 the basic premise of this thing is just ridiculous at the end of the day. There's only one person who seems to have any sense. The guy was like, what? You want to do what? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm going. Everybody else is like, yeah, okay. How much money? All right, let's go in and go get them. And let's go in and go get them. I was like, no. The smart thing would have been, they're gonna nuke the place. Wait till they nuke the place and then go get the money.
And
that's
also,
after the fact. That's
there's
after
only
the
one
fact.
alpha that can actually do anything, unless we spoil the whole story and like they also throwing away time. But no one. All right, I gotta ask both of you: are you okay with the zombie getting another zombie pregnant? And
Hell no.
Again, this is not the
How can
typical
a
shambler
zombie get
zombie.
another zombie
It's
pregnant?
not a
They're
typical.
undead. And
Look,
that's part of the problem because zombies are supposed to be supernatural, mystical creations at the end of the day. They're supposed to be soulless beings like vampires, like a curse, like a werewolf or something of that nature. But they decided, no, we don't want to go that route because that requires too much creativity. Let's just make it a government project or some fungus from outer space came over here and now we got to deal with this and we can manipulate that. But because you took that portion out, because that's the origin of the zombies at the end of the day, a supernatural origin. Because you decided to take that out and do this type of nonsense over here, there's no way on God's green earth you can see of these guys. How in the world are they going to have zombie kids? How are they going to? People have enough time
But again,
raising normal kids. How are they going to raise zombie kids?
okay, so you're assuming again the Shamblers, but this is a different level. This is an organized, intelligent zombie. We know for a fact that he was in some type of government program. And the question is, when he bites his people, do they become dead or do they become just they change or whatever? So I think we need to really look at that aspect of the whole thing. And I think that if that's your premise, then you can just throw that out the window, ball it up into a piece of paper, just put a little kerosene on it, turn the fire on, and then throw it out the window. Of course, NYPD is going to come after you for arson, but that's a whole nother issue you got to worry about. Right now, we're dealing with this. Look, I think it was a good idea. I think it was a good premise. I enjoyed the movie. There were
What did
elements
you
of
like about the babies? What do you like about the baby death?
baby is a baby. Just that this is a evolving culture. Look, it's like that movie with
No, you
Will Smith
can't.
about the zombies. Where they didn't believe these guys were evolving, and they were evolving. They're communicating, and that's the key thing here. So the next step is if they can communicate, and they can have, then can they have others of their own? Are they really dead to begin with? Probably we keep saying undead. That's what they were initially with Romero, but probably they're not undead. But I think we're speaking in circles here. What I'm talking about though, did you enjoy the movie? Now let's talk about one of the
No.
premises.
No, I did not.
Let's talk about one of the premises here. What do you think about the very fact that
Let's talk about the fact I'm never going to get these 2 hours of my life back. Let's talk about that.
Hey, I think I would watch it again. I think it was just that
No,
fun.
you won't.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I think it was a good
How
movie.
many times have you watched again the what's that thing? The what's that thing? The Inhumans.
All right. No, you're not going to watch this again. See, and this is why I don't believe you, because I know that you
I would
enjoy
watch.
quality production. We talk about quality stuff all the time off screen. Okay. I know the type of stuff that you would revisit again. You're not going to revisit this again.
I find this
You watch
I found
this.
enjoyable.
I know exactly what you did. You watched this and you were like, man, I got to find something good to say about this. Man, you probably got a little notepad over there. Well, let's see. The coloring was good. And, I could hear it. The sound was good. All the basic stuff that you could pretty much try to get yourself through this. There's no way you're going to watch this again.
Oh my goodness! I think that you guys are colored by the fact of Will Smith. But let's get back to the
What
story.
are you talking about?
That you guys don't like Zack Snyder. Let's call it what it is.
Why you say Will Smith?
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Will Smith zombie movie.
Which one? You talking? Oh, but that thing they played it differently. So it was and it was kind of doing because what's the name? Charlton Heston.
I Am Legend.
But I'm saying Charlton Heston did Omega Man, where it was a little bit more of a like a black exploitation type of film, right? But yeah, it's like that. And then this one was more like a present day update and going back to the actual story, that sort of thing, but give you some mystery to what it is. What are these guys? What is this? That sort of thing. So it's but even though that, I think they changed the story a little bit too. So, but then you go to this and it's like, no, this isn't just this is doing some dumb stuff to say that, like how the what's the names? The zombies procreate is from the dead. More people die.
You keep assuming. You keep saying the dead.
We know that. That's how they procreate. The people die and they become a zombie. Why do they need to have kids?
Are the Shamblers in different levels of zombies? Are the Shamblers having babies? No. This is the first baby with the alpha type of zombie.
You're saying it like it means something.
They're not living beings. They're zombies. You can't procreate.
Okay.
Like you can't put. You don't put two chairs. You don't put two chairs in a room and you come back tomorrow and you see a bunch of little chairs. It doesn't happen.
These are intelligent.
He's the predator, right? He's like he has these things that because as far as the predator goes, the 20th Century Fox wouldn't allow him to do anything but repeat things. So you have good things he can do, but at the same time, he's like, all right, I'm gonna put a helmet on, but I can't do anything beyond what the regular zombies do. I can't talk. I have to react like an animal. Like, but what did they do? They're like he's like Conan or something like that, a little step above a caveman, and he made this mask. I see all my brothers getting shot in the head, and I don't like it. So let me make a helmet.
He's got a little flair. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get this cape going.
Okay, so the Lily, I think, who was the coyote, basically says, "Hey, people think that this is a prison, an open air prison, but in reality, this is their kingdom, right?" So that's she was trying to explain, and she explains. I guess she does the exposition in the show about the zombies, where she's saying this is really these guys are organized. They have the regular shamblers and they have the regular organized
But they
zombies.
went too far. I was okay when they did that. I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then they jumped the shark. They literally had the what's the name, the shambler on a ski, what's the name, on the ski going jumping over a shark. It was so ridiculous. That whole baby thing threw me out of the whole thing. Him having this girlfriend, this, that, and the other.
The queen, the
But
queen.
then at the same time, it's like, and then, oh, okay. So the coyote, the scene where he does something cool, right? She's got the head, and I'm like saying, all right, this is a different creature, like you're saying. He could live with the head still being there, having the little, preemie infant, like, and still have a relationship with his head and the little baby, right? And he did the coolest thing on the planet, right? He does, all right, I'm just gonna take this chick out, and but she somehow is positioned far enough so the head falls down. Like, no, I don't know where. How did she
She
get
didn't
all the way
fall
over
down.
there?
She didn't fall down. She was close enough to the balcony that she could
I
drop.
don't, but I don't even buy that thing. That is too far. That's too. I
If
need.
you
I
I
didn't even
want to
know.
go back. It's so
if
dumb.
you look at the
I
thing,
didn't
if
even
you
know
look,
it
I
was a
saw that.
baby. I didn't know it was a baby at first.
I
Because
did.
I'm paying attention to it, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Some cold cuts or something? Like they're
Were you
worshiping like a
hungry?
sandwich. I
Were
was like,
you
wait a minute,
hungry?
that's a baby. I was like, oh, get out of here, get out of here.
It's the
So up until
dumbest
that
thing
time,
ever.
you were interested in the movie, but then you saw the baby, and you're like, it's a wrap.
No, I'm
No,
saying to you
I
like
had to
this.
watch this movie because it was mandated that I had to watch this movie.
Yeah, we actually endorsed it by watching it. So now we have to take all that back by destroying it. But no, I'm saying like this. I'm saying that all right, you give the what is that thing? The Siegfried and Roy tiger walking around, or leopard
Valentine.
walking around, and that's just cool. It don't make no sense that it's not just going and killing, trying to kill them,
Yeah,
but it's just cool, right? And it's like, and
stupid
they had the
but
whole,
acceptable.
hmm?
I said I found it stupid but acceptable.
Yes, yeah. And then you had when he fights the Terminator guy, they had the whole Revenant thing where he's like has this long drawn out thing because he's actually like Zack Snyder's doing Raptors with the zombies. That's why they quick. I didn't get it the first time, but he's like they're like the way they kind of want to play with their food. They don't want to just be they're animalistic. So he's trying to further on them being animalistic and saying, oh, they're gonna have kids too. But it's like no, I don't want to. I don't want to see that. So I'm saying I'm going in there. It has a little bit of. It's okay during this period. It's getting dumb when they're in there, and he's like, "I gotta follow you," and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna set up all these zombies just because I want to take her out, but at the same time, we'll be chased." And then nobody says. She doesn't say before she. When Cal was talking about, she doesn't say before she dies. It was the Terminator guy. He said all these things, but he set me up and he caused this, and he let me know it was him. They nope. She was like, just go. No, you can tell them who caused this. But that's like that's kind of where I kind of trailed off again because it was getting interesting. This whole thing of them being hibernating. That's the stuff of giving them their own sort of thing when you're in the deep of it. Because the first one we just saw them trying to, I guess you could say they were trying to infect everyone. This one is like, oh, they hibernate. They sit around here doing nothing, and you can walk through there. And it's like, all right, that's kind of a cool thing. And though, I don't know if that makes any sense, but still, let's see how it goes. Then they had to throw the baby in there, and it's just like, no, because they also showed when they showed him going next to the stomach and him being all happy, I was like, I'm out. That's it. It's over with.
That I knew he was having a baby. But let's take a look at this. Let's talk about what the real critical thing. So the big spoiler is that the government, not the government, Sanaka sends them in. Bly Sanaka, the guy who owns the casino, and he's the one who's telling them he wants a $200 million. He tells them basically the insurance company's already paid him the $200 million, because it was insured. But that he wants them to go get the cash. And if they go in, they get $50 million out of the cash, right? But in reality, it's not that. It's something else altogether. and that's that they want the head of one of the zombies so the government can use it for military purposes. You know,
Which
Didn't the
they know
government
is
have
not
it
going to
already?
work.
how do you know?
The thing is, you kill all you do is multiply your. Say they threw it into a place with civil unrest. How does that work?
That's not what they want to do. They want to weaponize it. They want to probably.
I'm
How?
saying that you want to
How
How
use
do
it,
you
weaponize it.
weaponize it?
I think
That's
it's
what I'm
you get
saying.
some volunteers. You put some of that into them, and you know make sure you put proper controls to keep it
Next thing
under
you're gonna
control.
tell me you can put UV light or bleach into people's systems, and that'll help them to combat certain viruses.
What we're talking about right here in the show.
We
So the movie, the premise is that you know the military's convoy, and they start from Area 51, right? And then from there they get into an accident. So Area 51 is what is a secure military testing area. So either the government knows about something, or the government was helping to develop it, or they got something from outer space. Those are the only options right there.
stop it, man. Stop
So
it. All
that's
it
what I'm saying.
was aliens.
They were trying to. They were
All
trying.
it was aliens.
Well, then if it's alien, then probably it isn't a zombie. The alphas aren't zombies then.
No,
Boom.
they not, I'm saying not. I'm saying the movie they were doing was aliens. The guy, the daughter, the helicopter scene at the end, all that stuff. The government trying to weaponize this thing. It's not the future like what's the name? It's not the future like aliens. This is the regular world. You can't. How can you weaponize something that just infects everybody?
The
They're
government
not
weaponized.
interested.
The United States government right now still probably has polio, even though it's eradicated in their
That's not the
vault.
same as a zombie.
Okay, I'm just trying to say
Thank you.
they try to
That's
weaponize the
not the
whole
same
thing.
as a zombie, and you know it.
Yeah, and they will weaponize it as they could. You know,
Every
probably
single film we've seen with the aliens, what do they want to do? They want to weaponize it, and it always blows up. Why? Because you can't control it. Same thing. You decide to come over and weaponize it. You can't control it. You can't turn it off. And then what happens? It gets out of control exponentially. It gets out of control and you're overrun. We saw that in Predator versus Alien. The predators want to go do what? They want to go have a hunt. It's all good as long as the predators kill all the aliens, but all they need is enough aliens to overrun them. And next thing you know, they got to wipe out the whole bloody civilization. So that's just a non-starter at the end of the day. The idea of these guys would have to be less than stupid to want to try to weaponize something like this. You can't keep this in a jar or put this in a lab someplace and close the door. Okay. In order for this to be effective and you use it, you got to let this out. You can't just inject this into, you got to let this out. And once it's out, you're pretty much toast. So that's just a dumb premise at the end of the day. The other thing I have to mention is that this is the second and probably last film that I'm going to devote any time when it comes to Zack Snyder, because this is really for the people who enjoy. This is really for the people who enjoy his type of stuff. And I think this film and the previous Justice League cut, these are just like, it's almost like contemptuous the way that he treats his fan base. Like, I'm not explaining anything. I'm not doing anything that makes any sense. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to phone it in. And you know what? You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Explain it to yourselves. Explain it to yourselves at the end of the day. And I know he's capable. I've seen some of it. I mean, I've seen his other work. He's capable, of making a more competent and coherent film than what he did right here.
Which
But
one?
he's
Which
in.
one? Which one is coherent?
300.
That's it. You get two. After that, which
No,
one
I
is
said I didn't
coherent?
say he keeps
I
doing
just
it.
gave you
I
two,
said
and then
he's
you want
capable.
more, and that's the problem. You get a little bit, then you say, no, I want more. Those two are
No,
good.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, you
No,
only gotta
this
keep
right
going
over
back.
here. No,
Okay.
this stuff where
BBS.
this stuff where he tries to get something done and it doesn't work, like Sucker Punch or that Owl movie, that type of stuff. But it's not like this guy can't just come over here and say, look, I'm gonna do beginning, middle, end. I'm gonna do Freytag's pyramid, and I'm gonna just, I'm gonna deliver a solid story at the end of the day. It's not that he can't do it; he won't do it. Okay, I'm not gonna do it, and it's contemptuous to the people who follow this guy because they come in here and it's like you can't even give him that. You can't give him beginning, middle, end. Look at the end of this movie. The end of this movie, that premise that it ended with was ridiculous.
Which
It was
premise?
ridiculous.
There were
This
two
dude
then.
would- Hmm?
There were two premises. Which one?
What's his name? What's this guy's name?
Omari
Omari.
Hardwick?
Yeah, him ending. He's on the plane. He's finding out. Oh, I got bit. I'm like, there's no way you should even made it that far, dude. You should have never made it that far.
Characters always fine. I'm not even going to argue with that stuff on that. But in terms of the overall movie, like I was saying, the government was trying to weaponize the head of one of these zombies, right? Something that the government probably would do. I don't know if you guys totally disagree with that.
No, I'm not saying that the government won't do it. I'm saying, first off, they're doing a basic, they're just sort of ripping off Alien and Aliens, like they're ripping it off completely. And then they're doing it in a form that doesn't work. They already have most of the, I guess they've contained the zombies in this film compared to the first movie, because the first one, it seemed like they were going to be overrun, but they've sort of figured out to close off these areas. But then the idea to weaponize it, like how it doesn't work.
We
You
don't
get in
know.
there, any mistake, any human error leads to everyone becoming a zombie. Right?
No, it doesn't.
Yes, that's what happened with the army guys. One human error led to them.
I'm not gonna browbeat you guys with this, but I'm gonna
They
continue.
say, all right, this is what should happen. They don't even understand what they were carting around. They in the first scene. We have
Need to
somebody.
know. Need to know. They shouldn't know.
No, if there's something goes wrong, the immediately directive is this. Like they can't
break out, leave right away.
No, he had to
They didn't
call
even
it
know
up.
that.
They barely
They're
even
the
called
guidance,
it
and
in.
she's telling them, "Hey, shut the f up and run."
So now another movie.
The thing is it out yet? Shoot a grenade in there and blow it up. End it. End the movie. They all nonchalant, like, hey, we just got in an accident. There's a lot of people dead here. Can we get a bus or something? Can we get like?
Well, they had a viable vehicle, and they decided, no, we got to hoof it.
That I agree with you. Why would you hoof it when there was a vehicle? That I agree with you. That didn't make any sense.
And they're still joking.
Let's hoof it. And then if you had gotten the vehicle, who knows? You might have been able to run it over if the bullets didn't work.
So I thought that this film movie was very similar to
everything.
The Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, Aliens, what's the name? Ocean's 11. Any movie you can put up, they did. And then The Watchmen open. Like they did everything. He can't just do one premise. One thing. Take one movie and add some bits, some other bits in there. Oh, you want to do a heist zombie film? Start immediately with the heist. The whole part of the opening should be the heist stuff. So we get to feel that it's a different movie than Aliens. They decided, no, let's show you how smart we are. This is how the quarantine happened. This man is government made.
Okay. I guess it's enough of the beat. I've taken too many hits on the match.
You're not taking any hits. It's Zack Snyder, but you want to take hits for him? You're a bullet taker, huh? You're gonna take some bullets for Zack Snyder. Come on.
Yeah, put that resume up in front of you. See if that shields you from these bullets.
All right. So listen. So we are all in agreement. It was a very interesting movie.
Very talented actors and actresses. Regretfully, Amari Hardwick didn't use the saw thing after the opening sequence.
Yeah,
they carted it around.
I've never seen whale excrement that held together that long. 2 hours, that's a record.
It was a very interesting movie. There was a lot of the coloring, the production, the cinematography was very, very entrancing.
The cinematographer was Zack Snyder. The story was Zack Snyder. It's like what's that Bugs Bunny cartoon? Sharps or a slasher. Story Zack Snyder.
Shropshire slasher. Occupation Shropshire slasher.
You gotta have everything. Is Zack Snyder? Come on.
Name Hack Snyder.
Occupation
Hack Snyder.
Okay. Thank you very much for everybody for listening. If you like what you see,
it was contemptuous, man.
Give us a thumbs up.
Don't do this to people. Make a movie.
Iraq.
Goodbye to Hack. Was it Zack the Hack?
Spinrack out. What the hell was that?
It's what he deserves.